Good morning, students, and welcome to the class of English. Children, in this video, I will try to explain you the chapter Footprints Without Feet pictorially. And I definitely believe, children, that the pictures which I am going to present over here will get imprinted in your brain and you will come to know very clearly about the story. You can see the invisible man or griffin without a face. Here is how he used to look with hat, eye sockets, bandages, and an overcoat. You can see Griffin with bandages and sunglasses. You can see the skin, the deformed skin of his face reflects how he used to look. Shocked, amazed, Mrs. Hall, when she saw the stranger. Children, Griffin is the protagonist of the story. He is consumed with his greed for power and fame. He only wanted to have immense power and fame. He is the role model which no one should follow. He is some kind of role model of science without humanity. A gifted young student, a gifted scientist, he becomes interested in the science of refraction. And during his experiments, he accidentally discovers formulas that would make tissues invisible. Obsessed with his discovery, he tries the experiment on himself and becomes invisible. But unfortunately, he was not able to develop the formula of getting visible again or reversing the process. And slowly he discovered that the advantages of being invisible outweighed the disadvantages. You can see Griffin on the dining. Once Mrs. Hall asked him, "Can I take your coat and hat, sir, and give them a good dry in the kitchen?" Griffin replied, "I prefer to keep them on." Children, although the fire was burning lightly, Mrs. Hall was surprised to see that her visitor still wore his hat and coat. When the Jaffers and other policemen came to arrest him, he just unwrapped and undressed himself and disappeared. You can see Jaffers watching the invisible man. Children, this story focuses on a scientist named Griffin. The author of the story is Herbert George Wells. Griffin, developed an interesting formula of invisibility. He developed a drug which made his body invisible, but he can be only felt physically. Then he misuses his power to steal money, clothes, and food. He found it difficult to stay in London with such power, so he decides to move on to a small village called Ripping. In the village, people were skeptical about him and looked at him strangely. A series of incidences happened in the inn where he stayed as he stole the money of the clergyman. Okay? He just showed his power to Mrs. and Mr. Hall by throwing them outside the room with the help of a chair. As his money exhausted, he started stealing. And he hid the owners of the inn when they suspected him. But lastly, he has to reveal his identity to the people. But nobody catches him as he becomes invisible. So children, it was all about some instances about the story. That's all. Thank you and goodbye.